Let's talk about healing from Pluto in Capricorn. I can't stop smiling because knowing that Pluto is moving out of Capricorn makes me very happy. I'm a Sag Sun, Libra rising, Aries moon, but I got hit hard these past 16 years, which is what got me into astrology in the first place in terms of studying it a little bit more deeply. Okay, so one thing that keeps coming up for me, and that I need to share this, and I've been talking about this in my daily lives, is I think that we collectively need to start thinking about healing from what we just went through so that we don't drag some of the toxic energy into this new beginning that we finally have. We finally have a release. Let's not bring the new into the old. Like why, or bring the old into the new, I meant to say. So first I want to say we can look at Capricorn. We can look at the traits of Capricorn and we can see the positive parts of it and the negative parts of it and just try to learn from that. Okay, so let's look at Capricorn. What are some good characteristics? Capricorns are very determined. They're very hardworking. They put a lot of pressure on themselves. I mean, they're really like the workaholics of the zodiac. They have a high standard and they expect other people to have that same high standard. And because of that, they can be very judgmental. They can hold on to grudges. They can go through depression. Imagine that. Because they kind of take on so much and they're such a perfectionist and they think that they're the only ones that can do it. If you find yourself saying, well, I had to because nobody else would have done it, or, that type of thing, just know that you might be influenced by this type of energy. Yes, maybe that's true, but at the same time, if you were to die, who would do it? Who would do what you're talking about? You have to think of it from that point of view. And instead of actually having to go through a death, try to think of things that you can adjust now before you have to die. So at some point, people are going to have to get on without you. I mean, we did before. The world was going on perfectly fine before I was born. It'll go perfectly fine after I leave this dimension. Same with you. So these are some of the things I'm talking about in terms of dragging that Pluto and Capricorn energy into the new beginning. Don't do it. Let go. Let go of these things, these high achieving, high working, hard vibes. Let it go. Also, let go of a victim energy, of feeling like it was this personal thing against you. It was not personal. Pluto is non-discriminate. Like it just comes in and just turns a light on and blasts away any of the shadows and puts light there and illuminates parts of our lives that we don't want illuminated. Either we're aware of it and we don't want it to be illuminated, or we're not aware of it. But whatever it is, it's sort of like this personal thing that you don't even want to think about. It's like worst case scenario. That's what Pluto kind of comes in and shows you. It hands you worst case scenario on a platter, and we have to work through it. And so I want to help you in this series, Healing from Pluto, to not bring that energy into this new beginning. It was not personal. It was there to help you become a better person, by becoming aware of these things that silently control you. Honestly, they silently control a lot of the decisions you make, the way you approach life, the way you approach your dreams, the way you approach conflicts, the way you maybe not approach things, the way you shy away from stuff. And it's so subconscious, it's so automatic that you're not even aware of it. But along comes Pluto and it goes boom with the floodlight. And now you are aware of it, but it's so uncomfortable, you just want to disappear. And it stays on there with that light on you for so long. And you're just like, okay, I've had it. I've had enough of this revealing worst case scenario, scenario to me. But take that. Remember, it's not what's happening to you. It's happening for you. You have to look at it that way. If you're going to heal from this, if you're going to ascend from these lessons, from this hardship, otherwise it's just hardship with no purpose. And I believe if you don't learn from it and make the adjustments now, you're going to die, you're going to have a life review, and you're going to look back and go, why didn't I just assimilate those lessons? They were handed to me on a silver platter, thanks to Pluto. And I was so mad, and I was Capricorny, I don't know how to say that, Capricornian, holding on to a grudge. Like, no. You took away things that were important to me. You made me go through a hard time. I was publicly humiliated. I'm not moving forward. I'm not doing anything. And you kind of just shut down for the rest of your life. That's really, really sad, because all those things they're just superficial things. If people think less of you because of what you've been through, that's on them. because anything that anyone can see, any of those structures like having a home, being homeless, health problems, financial problems, friendships that either, dissolve or fade away, or there's some kind of major thing happening, or other type of relationships, marriages, all that kind of stuff is like surface stuff. Nobody knows the truth of those situations except for like God and our higher power and the universe. No one knows what really happened. So if another human being in this lifetime is looking at you and judging you, that's on them. Don't join them. Don't join with them and judge yourself. You went through hell. Pluto and Capricorn, you guys, we all went through hell. And the judgment is left for a higher place, not for here. And if people are judging you, just step away from them. You don't have to be around anyone that sees you in a less light. You are a magnificent, incredible, perfect person. Like, you're wonderful, your soul. Your soul is perfect and beautiful and wonderful. And we're going to be tattered and bumped around and broken and all those things while we're here. But who we really are is intact. It never changes. It never breaks. It never, it had nothing to do with all this stuff. It's perfect. This stuff is all about our ego, about how we show up in the world. And that part of us has been broken down so that we can strengthen our connection to our truest self and bring that in. It's an opportunity to do this over. If maybe when you were growing up and you were developing your personality, you were, influenced by certain people in your life, and you had all these characteristics and these fears and these hopes that you don't even really align with anymore. This is the opportunity now, because everything's broken away. This is the opportunity to rebuild with those new values, that new perspective that you have. It's you. You can change yourself. That's one of the big things I love about Madonna, was like, she was at the height of her popularity and she totally changed what she looked like. If you weren't alive before Madonna was sort of in her highest reign, you don't understand that, because you just see her as like always changing. Nobody really changed what they looked like and what they sounded like before her as much as her. There's been a couple people, but nothing as big as her. And she really taught me, like, even though she received a lot of criticism for it, she was hugely successful, and she did it again, and she was hugely successful. But at each step, she always had critics. She always had people guessing why she did that, or, putting the most negative spin on why someone would do that. And at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. She is who she is, and she is where she is. And that's her life journey. And that's how it affected me. And so I think, I'm afraid of that. I'm afraid of like coming across as like, now all of a sudden I'm doing something different, or now I'm whatever. Yeah, that's why we're here. We should be changing. We should be, having things happen to us that make us change. Don't you think? I mean, yes, that should happen. And it could be your appearance. It could be your appearance. It could be the way you come across. You could have said until you were 25, you're never going to travel. And all of a sudden one day you're like, I need to travel. And you're this travel vlogger. And everyone's like, she's so fake. She always said she hated traveling. Yeah, I know. And then one day she realized she liked it. Or she wanted to face her fears or discomfort with traveling. And so she became a travel vlogger. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, do you get where I'm going with this? It's okay to change. It's okay to do a 180 on whatever your life was before all this chaos. If you want to. You don't have to, but if you want to. And guess what? The good thing about this right now for all of us that went through Pluto and Capricorn is we're coming into Pluto in Aquarius, which is about authenticity. Authenticity, which is what we are now left with. Our lives have been destroyed, or parts of our lives have been destroyed. A lot of these false structures that we had in our lives, thank God for Pluto and Capricorn, it destroyed all of that. Anything that was false, anything that wasn't working for us anymore, it came crumbling down. And now we have an opportunity to be actually where the energy is moving towards revering authenticity, uniqueness, individuality. So we're at a good place if you see it that way. If you can pick up the pieces and make sense of this, see it for the good, see it as an opportunity that really helped you grow and become more real, more authentic, more you, pushing out into the world. Don't hide what you've learned and be bitter. Put it out there. Heal from this. Just heal from this by stepping into the new and stepping into this new authentic you in life. All right, good luck and stay tuned for more videos on this series. Healing Pluto. Healing from Pluto.